Good evening. Welcome to tonight's Republican Candidates Forum for the 17th Congressional District, sponsored by the Dauphin County Young Republicans and the Dauphin County Council of Republican Women. First, I'd just like to thank our candidates for agreeing to participate tonight. Dave Argel, Josh Burst, Alan Griffith, and Frank Ryan. If everyone could give them a round of applause. One of these four men will be the Republican candidate this fall for Congress, and each of you have the opportunity in the primaries on May 18th to vote for one of these men, to nominate them for that position. So I hope tonight that this forum will be able to help you and aid you with that decision. I'd also like to thank Scott Davis here for streaming the video live on our website, dauphinyrs.org, and the moderator, Dauphin County Solicitor Bill Tully, and also if we can give him a round of applause. We're going to begin with the Pledge of Allegiance, so if everyone could stand up. The flag is right over there. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, everyone. I am going to turn it over to Bill Tully, and we'll begin.
We're going to try to do this without microphones. Are you able to hear?
Yes.
At any point, any candidate that wishes to use the microphone can. If at any point you can't hear, feel free just to put your hand up. I'll catch the signal, and we'll see if they either step up the volume, which I don't think will be a problem with the candidates that we have here today. We've met ahead of time, and we've decided that we will address each other by first names. We have lined ourselves up in alphabetical order by last name, and that's how we'll basically rotate the questions as we go through this. Each candidate will have 3 minutes to give an opening statement, and then the questions will be asked, and we'll go alphabetical order and then shift so that each candidate will have an opportunity to share the starting and finishing points on their particular comments. And remember, this is an opportunity for all of us to listen to the candidates politely, with open minds, and decide which candidate can best cast a vote against Nancy Pelosi next year. And with that, we'll start with the opening statements. And with Dave, would you please go first?
Thank you. I'd like to thank the YRs and the Republican women for pulling this all together tonight. I know it's a good bit of work. I haven't been a YR for a few years now, but I put a lot of time into the organization over the years. It's actually how I met my wife, but that's another story. We've been out on the trail a lot, the four of us, over the last few months now in the 5 different counties, and I know that time and time again, the question has come to me, why have you chosen to do this? And it's a very simple answer. People asked me to take on this challenge. We understand that it's a very, very, very difficult undertaking to take on an 18-year congressman with almost $1 million in his campaign account. This is not something to be taken lightly. But I think also, and this is a point that we would all agree, it's not just about us, it's not just about Tim Holden, it's about our children, it's about our grandchildren. In my case, it's my future grandchildren. I'm not quite there yet, but something I'm looking forward to. But it is something that it's a very, very important race, and I commend all of you for coming out to take part in this. Thank you.
Josh?
Thanks, Bill. Yeah, thank you all for being here. It reminds me of something that Benjamin Franklin wrote about the time of the Revolution. Now, a third of the population was possessed with revolutionary zeal and was on fire. A third of the population was watching which way the winds were blowing and which way they should blow with them. And a third of the population didn't care. Even at the time of the founding of our country, it was hard to get people involved. So one of the great challenges of democracy is to engage the population. So it's really commendable that you're here. We all appreciate it. I'm running because I want my country back. Like a lot of us, I believe that the checks and balances that are really essential to democracy and the republic we live in have been lost when you have one party dominating so completely a system that is based on checks and balances. The concentration of power creates absolute power, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. And we are seeing a terrible corruption of our government, not only in the actual corruption, the backroom deals that are already going on, despite all the promises that they wouldn't, but we're also seeing things like the health care bill that are designed to completely restructure our nation and remake it into something that it was never intended to be. That's why I'm running. There are three things that really specific policy goals are important to me. Number one is energy independence, using our native resources as a bridge to get to a more sustainable future where we use hydrogen or cellulosic methanol or some other amalgamation of transportation fuels, so we get off foreign oil. Second of all, we need to have food independence. We have got to be able to stand on our own 2 feet as a sovereign nation and feed ourselves. And farmland preservation is key to achieving that. And finally, we've got to have foreign policy independence. We've got to get out of the United Nations. The United Nations is holding us back from doing what we must do in our interests as a nation. The United Nations really puts us on the same playing field, the same level as Ahmadinejad is in our nation today. We should not have to listen to this guy. We shouldn't have to deal with him. We should be pounding his nuclear facilities into dust so that Western civilization is not threatened by him and his fanatical regime. Those are some of the really key policy goals that I'm pursuing. Again, thank you very much. It means a lot to all of us that you're out here tonight. And thanks so much to the young Republicans and to the Republican women. Thanks.
Al?
Thank you, Bill. Thank you for being here tonight. I'm sure you could find some other things you might want to do on a beautiful evening like this, but you sacrificed your time to come. I hope we'll make it worthwhile in presenting ourselves and our views. I want you to know a little bit about me. It was my privilege to be a pastor for 26 years. For the last 16 years, I've traveled the country, also up into Canada, to talk about family and leadership and finances and problem solving. I have a good wife who's here tonight, Patricia. I'm grateful for her. She's been my wife for 44 years. I've got 5 children, and I've got 18 grandchildren. And I often say that those 18 grandchildren are 18 reasons to run and win. And I've got number 2, number 5, and number 8 or 9 here tonight. I'm not sure what that number is, but you'll find their numbers on their shirts tonight. But I'm grateful for them being here tonight. You know, I'm running because our country is in great, great trouble. We've got so many serious problems. We have economic problems, education problems, energy problems, immigration problems, so many difficulties that we're dealing with. But you know, I believe with all my heart that the real problem that we're dealing with today is people. We send people to Washington expecting that they will go down and live with integrity, that they will have the courage to stand up for what is right, that they'll face down even their own party leadership if they have to, on the basis of principle. And we've got folks down there who, quite frankly, have not done that. We expect them to follow the principles of the Constitution. The Constitution is clear. We're supposed to have a limited government. A limited government will only work and function in certain realms. Our government has left the principles of the Constitution and is moving in all kinds of directions, forgetting its basic responsibility of protecting us and trying to provide for everybody and everything. And so my desire is to go to Washington to be guided by the Constitution, be guided